Well, Jay, thank you very much. And you're one heck of an MC, I'll tell you that. You know, Mr. Chairman, you have developed a great crowd tonight, especially when you are competing with baseball games. You're competing with 3 important college football games, and you're still turned out a tremendous crowd. Congratulations. And Beverly and I are very, very proud to be here for any function that the Republican Party has. And a lot of us have not seen each other for a while, so I want to say to all the elected officials and the candidates, it's really great to see you. Some of us we haven't seen since Friday. But it's our people-to-people campaigns that all of us conduct. Is this thing ringing in your ears like it is in mine? Yeah. Something like that is going on. Yeah, I'll back up a little bit. But it's the people-to-people campaign that all of us run is why we're so successful, because our candidates, for those who haven't met our candidates or our elected officials, they're just real people with real basic instincts. And this comes through to the voter. That's why we basically have Republican elected officials here in Pinellas County. Now, I mentioned some of us haven't seen each other for a while. You probably know, or maybe you know, that last year during the last election I had some difficulties, some medical difficulties. After 2 operations on my back and nearly 3 months in the hospital, I lost 50 pounds. And I lost 4 inches in height because of the fusing of my back. But there's one thing that I have not lost, and that is the commitment and the determination to do everything that I possibly can to make sure that America remains a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And not one of the government, by the government, and for the government, which is what the present occupant of the White House wants. The present occupant of the White House and all of his SARs want the government to be everything. They believe the government can solve the economic problems of our country. And they believe they can solve it by pouring money into something. Like maybe that solar panel company out in California that is costing you over $500 million. And after being promoted by the White House, the money was turned over and they went bankrupt. So how many of you really believe you're going to get any of that money back? I didn't think any better than put their hand up. That was part of the stimulus that was supposed to solve our problems, our economic problems. I think it's my magnetic personality that stays But I'll tell you what, their ideas are wrong. For to be able to give all of the money and spend all of the money that this administration wants to spend, that they have to borrow, before they can give it to you, they have to take it from you. And the government does not produce any jobs except in the government. And what we need to do is to produce jobs in the private economy, in the small business and in the large business, in the corporations, in the partnerships, in the one-on-one businesses. There's where we create the jobs. There's where we create the economy. There's where we create people who are going to contribute to the government for the necessary conduct of the government, but not for those wild schemes that this administration has such a strong belief in. Can you imagine over $1 billion in so-called stimulus? No, more than $1 billion, excuse me. Billions of dollars in the so-called stimulus plan, and half of $1 billion of that money went to the solarium company. It's time for a change. We heard that in 2008. Time for a change. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if there ever was a time for a change, it is 2012. If we don't make the change now, I fear there are some things that might happen that might be irreversible. Now pay attention to that. That might be irreversible. So we've got to make sure something like that doesn't happen. And we can lead the way here in Pinellas County and in Florida to lead the nation to elect a Republican Congress, not Republican Congress, but a Republican president in 2012. Well, we have a number of very serious-minded, very well-qualified candidates running for the nomination to be President of the United States. And I'm just really happy tonight to welcome Anita Perry, because I heard about her, I've never met her before, but I heard about her on TV the other night when the commentator asked all of the candidates, what would you bring to the White House that is not there now? Governor Perry made the comment that he was going to bring one of the most beautiful first ladies that has ever lived in the White House. And we are very, very proud to welcome you here tonight. And because we're anxious to hear from you, and the only thing standing between the folks hearing what you have to say is for me to shut up and get off the stage. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say thank you all very much for the support you've given all of our candidates and for this Congressman in particular. Thank you all very much. Thank you for supporting the defense of our nation. God bless our great country. God has blessed us in many ways, and we should continue to pray that God continue to bless our great America.